Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Moss Crossings. I'm Moss, and I have a speed build for y'all today. I'm gonna be finishing up the last of the remaining space in my fairy forest today. So that's gonna be like pretty much my whole island done except for the beaches, which is really exciting. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Showing you my map to start out with, we're going to be working in the top right corner of the island today. And this is the space we're working with. Right here is where I'm going to have a rock garden, but not all the rocks have spawned there yet. And I'm not going to be finishing that area in this video, actually, so I lied about this being the last of my island besides the beaches that I have to do. So I do still have to finish the rock garden, and that will maybe be its own video, but I'm not totally sure. Other than that, I'm going to be working a lot on this upper tier of cliffs. I took some ideas from comments on a previous video for what to do with this last area in the fairy forest, and what I ended up kind of going with was a couple people suggested some sort of like fae bonfire area or like dancing kind of area. That was kind of the vibe that I went with. I thought about doing like a feast area, like having some tables with different chairs and food and stuff on it, but it ended up being a little bit too small a space for me to feel like I could really make that work, and so I decided to just go with a bonfire kind of area. I'm going to be starting off this build by placing some like ruin items, some like a ruined arch and some ruined columns, just to kind of set the tone and make it feel a little bit spooky, and also to frame the area that I'm working with. This space over to the left side of the area that I'm working on, like behind the witch cottage, I'm mostly putting just kind of filler in that space, but I'm also gonna have like a bed there. I just was really like, for some reason, enchanted by the idea of putting Luna's bed in the middle of the woods, just kind of mysteriously. It's like some sort of fairy tale thing, like a bed where a princess would fall into a cursed sleep or something like that. I don't know. I fiddled around a little bit with the rock garden area in this build, but I'm still kind of trying to decide whether I want it to be fully functional or partially functional or just completely aesthetic, and that will affect what I put like right around the rocks, obviously. So that's kind of still up in the air. You'll see when I make the rock garden video. I hope that I can successfully get all my rocks to spawn here because I'm pretty sure at this point there's nowhere else for them to go, but we'll see. I feel like I didn't really leave myself enough space for the things that I wanted to do with this area, but there wasn't a whole lot I could do about that because, you know, when it's like the last clear area on your island and there's completed builds all around it, it's kind of hard to like expand the space that you're working with, obviously. Even though this island is like partially a forest, I feel like I haven't really recaptured the forest vibes that I had on Wild's End, because I think that my forest on that island was really good, and I feel like the forest on this island just isn't up to par, because I don't think that I really left enough space at any point to really get those dense clusters of trees that make it feel like it's a real forest. It doesn't bother me too much, but I would say if you want to build your own forest on your island, you should probably check out my previous videos on Wild's End for like better tips, because I don't think I did as good a job here. I still like how it turned out and everything. I just think that I did a better job at making a forest on Wild's End. I really didn't do a lot of terraforming in the back part of the island here, so I'm also like working largely with the cliffs that were already here, and I didn't like clear a huge amount of space in the back of the island because I wanted it to be a little bit more natural, so that's also a factor. Maybe this is just like a manifestation of my personal desire to sleep on a luxurious bed in the middle of the woods. Someone also suggested in a comment doing a glowing moss and mushroom area in the forest, so you'll notice that I've been using a lot of glowing moss and mushroom items because I thought that that was a really great idea, and that's kind of the basis of the aesthetic I'm going for in this whole area. Alright, y'all, I'm going to do a final walkthrough of this area, and I'll have some shots of it during the day and also some shots of it at night at the end. Thank y'all so much for watching this video and for being along with me on the journey of building this island, which is very close to being done. I really hope that y'all enjoyed, and I'll be back with new speed builds and other content very soon. Bye-bye!